So the C times Z has a stock temperature gauge for coolant, and it got a little bit hot while I was doing my tire test, so I decided to do something about that. I didn't necessarily want to run a gauge. I hate installing gauges. Plus, I wanted something that was a little more affordable. I know water temperature gauges are on the cheap side of gauges, but this is even cheaper. I got this for $6 at Marshall's. This I had laying around. You can get these on Amazon for around $1 something. I had an old Galaxy. I think it's an S5 charging cable. But what I'm going to do is use the app Torque to get this setup dialed in and hopefully get some coolant readings that's a little bit better than the stock needle that doesn't really tell me much. So I chose this one because it has these feet. I figured with all the jostling and jumping around that drift cars like to do, this one would hold it in a little bit better. So yeah, let's toss it in. Should be relatively easy as long as this cigarette lighter actually works. If not, I'm going to have to go find a cigarette lighter and install it. So it's a quick test. All right, we do have power on the cigarette lighter. Bonus. Now, as you can see, I have finagled the phone into this mount. Now I just need to figure out where I'd actually want to put it. Possibly on this side next to the other gauges. Maybe over here so that it's a little bit more in my view. Luckily there's a big chunk out of the dash right here, so yeah, I think with the cable coming out. Oh, I didn't bring the cable. I gotta get all the way out of the car. So I also have this cheap OBD2 adapter. Got this thing on Amazon for, I don't know, it was like $6.99 shipped. We'll plug that in. Okay, that is plugged in. Now we're on. And I got 1% battery on this thing. So that's pretty sick. Okay, pin should be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 it is. Okay, so that is paired. I'll set the vehicle up in Torque later, but for now I just want to try to get, okay, it is all connected here. Real-time information, so I can choose from all sorts of stuff, but Torque, you can look into that yourselves to make sure that I can get an actual coolant reading. That's all I needed to know. That is outstanding. And phone died, so I'm going to need to go get the cable. My USB cable should be long enough to reach and kind of go around the dash. I'll probably rerun that later, but for now I need to get this thing charging. That's alright. Pretty pumped the USB thing works. And we are getting a charge. So while that is charging, I'll release this, release that, let that charge for a little bit while we're putting this on. So basically this has a black plastic plate, and this mounts to that plate instead of straight to the windshield, and it's mounted via some double-sided tape. And I just turned the lights on. That may have helped actually. Solid on there. So I think right about there is going to be pretty good. Nice and out of the way, and I can still see it at a quick glance. This is going to have plenty of room to go down one of the vents. That to the windshield. Now I'm going to take the phone out. do. That's good news. Still charging. Okay, and that is pretty damn solid in there. Power at least. I can turn this thing back on to get it in its spot. Nice, and it even rests against the dash a little bit, so I think it should be a little more solid than it would be on its lonesome. Engine coolant temperature, large, coolant and intake temperature. So now I have a nice big reading of coolant temperature and intake temperature. I'm going to route that cable better, and we're going to go do our tire test tomorrow. So this is fantastic. I'm super pumped on this. This gauge ended up costing me $6 something plus tax for the mount itself, $2 for that, and I think $6 ship or for the OBD2 Bluetooth adapter. So the whole setup cost me less than 15 bucks, and I have a accurate coolant temperature. So fantastic there. The dummy gauge is nice, but it's a dummy gauge. It has a huge range. If it's hot, it could be 230, 240, you never know. So nice to have coolant temperature right there. I have oil pressure, I have voltage, and a few other things, gas mileage, whatever, RPMs, etc. So moving on up, moving on out. So that's the gauge in, the phone powered, and everything working. Now I know you're going to say, God damn it, Dan, what the fuck is wrong with you? The phone was like $600. Most of you have a cell phone, so this doesn't need to be something that's permanent and in the car. That's why I didn't count the phone into the price tag of this gauge. I get it. So you can use your cell phone, put it in there, take it out when you're done. You already have it. Most of you have one. If you don't, I'm sorry, try to get one. It's an upgrade. Everybody's got to be cool, have a swipey phone. See you at the track tomorrow. Officer Dan, out.